Have you ever felt like you're speaking a different language than your own family? Like you see things they can't, or simply refuse to? What if I told you that feeling of being the black sheep isn't a curse, but a sacred contract, a divine assignment you chose before you even arrived here? I've witnessed countless souls, myself included, who've navigated the bewildering maze of toxic family dynamics, and what I discovered about the chosen ones, the black sheep, will fundamentally change how you view your entire life's journey. The number one thing blocking your acceptance of this powerful truth isn't what you think. It's the very wound you believe holds you back. Stick with me, because this isn't just about family drama, it's about unlocking your true spiritual destiny. The spiritual path of the chosen one, the black sheep's odyssey. The journey of the so-called black sheep is not a lamentable deviation from the norm, but a profound and often arduous spiritual odyssey. It's a path walked by souls who, prior to their incarnation, agree to a unique and challenging contract, to embody difference, to question the unquestionable, and ultimately, to serve as catalysts for change within their lineage and the wider world. This isn't a random happenstance. It's a meticulously chosen role, designed to accelerate both personal and collective spiritual evolution. The divine blueprint. Why the black sheep doesn't fit in. Imagine, for a moment, a flock of sheep, moving in unison, following the established paths. Then, envision one sheep, perhaps a different color, or simply one that feels an innate urge to explore the untrodden meadow, to gaze at the distant mountains. This is the essence of the black sheep, an individual whose very spirit is wired for divergence. They don't fit in because they were never meant to. This isn't a failure to conform, it's a success in embodying their authentic spiritual blueprint. From a higher perspective, the black sheep's inability to fit in is a deliberate design. They possess an inherent sensitivity, an intuitive knowing, and often a spiritual awareness that operates on a different frequency than their family unit. While the family may prioritize material security, social conformity, or rigid traditions, the black sheep often yearns for truth, authenticity, freedom, and a deeper spiritual connection. This vibrational mismatch creates immediate friction. Have you ever felt that unsettling dissonance when your values clash profoundly with those around you, even your loved ones? That's the black sheep's daily reality. Their different nature is not a defect, it is their greatest strength. They are often the ones asking uncomfortable questions, pointing out the elephant in the room, or challenging long-held dysfunctional patterns. They are the truth-tellers, the pattern breakers, the light-bearers in systems that prefer to operate in shadow. They carry an energetic signature that subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, disrupts the status quo. This disruption is not malicious, it is evolutionary. It's the universe's way of injecting new energy and perspective into stagnant or toxic family lines. This constant friction, while painful, prevents the black sheep from becoming complacent or losing themselves in the collective unconscious of the family. The crucible of growth. Why a toxic family? Now, here's the uncomfortable truth that most spiritual teachings gloss over: the black sheep often chooses to incarnate into a toxic family system. Why, you ask? Excuse me, that's not love. Why would anyone sign up for that trauma? Girl, return that idea and the trauma if you want, but from a soul's perspective, it's a powerful accelerant for growth. The pros of incarnating into a toxic family. Intense spiritual acceleration. Think of it as a spiritual boot camp. The intense pressure, the constant challenges, and the clear reflection of dysfunction force rapid spiritual growth. In a perfectly harmonious environment, the soul might not encounter the necessary friction to activate its full potential for healing and self-mastery. The toxicity acts as a catalyst, compelling the black sheep to seek internal peace, boundaries, and self-love. Forced self-discovery. When external validation is absent or conditional, the black sheep is pushed inward. They learn to rely on their own intuition, their own inner knowing, and to cultivate a robust sense of self-worth independent of external approval. Sir, you scrubbed your romantic history so clean it squeaks, but this family history is a powerful mirror for growth. Development of empathy and compassion. While often on the receiving end of difficult behaviors, the black sheep, from a higher perspective, develops profound empathy. They learn to understand the roots of dysfunction, the generational wounds, and the unconscious suffering that drives others' actions. This isn't condoning abuse, but understanding its origins, fostering a deep well of compassion not just for others, but for themselves. Unveiling of innate gifts. The challenges inherent in a toxic environment often awaken dormant spiritual gifts. Strong intuition, energetic sensitivity, resilience, boundary-setting mastery, and the ability to transmute negative energy are frequently honed in such crucibles. These are not random gifts. They are tools specifically activated to navigate the unique challenges chosen by the soul. Breaking generational cycles. This is perhaps the most significant pro. The black sheep often carries the spiritual mandate to be the cycle breaker in their lineage. They are the ones who, through their healing and awakening, stop the transmission of trauma, addiction, or dysfunction to future generations. It's anxiety in a trench coat pretending to be love, but the black sheep is the one who sees through the disguise and cuts the energetic cords. This is a monumental spiritual service. The cons of incarnating into a toxic family. Profound emotional and psychological damage. Let's be clear, the human experience of this is agonizing. The constant invalidation, manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional abuse can inflict deep wounds. It can lead to severe anxiety, depression, complex PTSD, and a distorted self-perception. Okay, Bob the Builder, just relax, but the internal reconstruction is immense. Identity confusion. Growing up with a distorted family mirror can lead to significant confusion about one's true identity. The black sheep may internalize negative labels, struggle with self-worth, and constantly question their perceptions. Isolation and loneliness. The very act of being different often leads to profound feelings of isolation, even within the family unit. This loneliness can be crippling, leading to a desperate search for belonging outside the family, sometimes resulting in attachment to other dysfunctional relationships. Difficult healing journey. The healing work required is extensive and arduous. It often involves years of therapy, self-reflection, and conscious effort to reprogram deeply ingrained patterns and beliefs. It's not a quick fix, it's a lifelong commitment. Risk of spiritual bypass. There's a risk of falling into spiritual bypass, using spiritual concepts to avoid the painful emotional work required. This is why confronting trauma directly is essential, rather than simply meditating it away. The journey of difference. Not following the herd. The black sheep's inability to follow the herd within their family is not an act of rebellion for rebellion's sake, but an intrinsic imperative to walk the unique path. They are driven by an inner compass calibrated differently from those around them. Why they don't follow the herd? Innate authenticity. They possess a core integrity that resists external pressure to conform. Their soul yearns for truth and authenticity, making it unbearable to pretend or suppress who they genuinely are. Am I right? Their inner voice is loud and clear, demanding alignment. Heightened sensitivity. The black sheep often has a highly developed emotional and energetic sensitivity. They pick up on subtle cues, unspoken tensions, and underlying dysfunctions that others ignore or are unconscious of. This sensitivity makes it difficult to participate in or perpetuate superficial interactions or denial-based realities. Purpose as a mirror. Their very presence often acts as a mirror to the family's unconscious patterns. By simply being different, they highlight the rigidity or dysfunction of the system. This can be met with resistance, anger, or attempts to force conformity, precisely because they threaten the existing power dynamics and illusions. Quest for deeper meaning. While the family may be content with conventional markers of success, the black sheep often seeks profound meaning, spiritual purpose, and a connection to something larger than themselves. This divergence in life's ultimate goals naturally leads them away from the herd's path. Ancestral healing calling. They often carry the ancestral calling to heal generational wounds. This means they cannot replicate the patterns of the past, even if it feels comfortable or familiar. Their soul is pushing them to create a new, healthier template for their lineage. The triumph, standing out and winning in the end. The story of the black sheep is ultimately a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the divine design for individual evolution. The winning, in this context, isn't about gaining external approval from the family or achieving conventional success within their framework. It's a deeply internal, spiritual victory. The black sheep stands out because they have done the arduous internal work that most shy away from. They have confronted their shadows, healed their wounds, and integrated their experiences. This process forges an undeniable inner strength, a radiant authenticity that cannot be dimmed. They become fully sovereign individuals, no longer seeking validation from external sources, especially not from the very system that once defined them by the otherness. How they win in the end? Radical self-acceptance. The ultimate victory is the profound self-acceptance that emerges from embracing their unique path. They realize their difference is not a flaw but a feature, a badge of honor on their spiritual journey. They stop trying to fit in and start thriving as they are. Authentic alignment. They build a life that is truly aligned with their soul's purpose and values. This might mean unconventional career paths, different relationship dynamics, or choosing a chosen family that truly sees and celebrates them. Inner peace and freedom. Having processed trauma and released programming, they experience a profound sense of inner peace and emotional freedom. The turbulent seas of their past give way to a calm, resilient inner harbor. They are no longer defined by their wounds but by their wisdom. Becoming a beacon. Through their journey, they become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. Their story demonstrates that it is possible to break free from generational cycles, to heal, and to live authentically. They embody the possibility of transformation, often attracting others who are on a similar path. Manifesting their true purpose. With the old limitations shed, the black sheep is free to fully step into their true spiritual purpose. This could involve teaching, healing, creative expression, or leading others. Their life becomes a living testament to the power of spiritual awakening. That wasn't love. That was a grand opening sale with no inventory. But your journey now is the fully stocked, thriving enterprise of authentic self-expression. Creating a conscious legacy. By breaking cycles, they create a new, healthier, energetic legacy for their lineage. Even if their immediate family doesn't fully understand or acknowledge their journey, the ripple effect of their healing extends far beyond, impacting future generations. This is a profound act of love. This has been an exploration of the spiritual journey of the black sheep, a powerful testament to the soul's courage. The path is never easy, but the profound transformation, the reclaiming of divine essence, and the ultimate victory of living an authentic, purpose-driven life make it an unparalleled odyssey. Remember, you weren't born to fit in. You were born to stand out, to heal, and to shine.